Most people think the alpha male is the loudest man in the room, the most aggressive, the one who dominates others and never backs down. That image is everywhere: movies, social media, self-help culture. It feels convincing. But the uncomfortable truth is this: the popular idea of the alpha male is mostly fiction. It is a simplified story people repeat because it sounds powerful. Real biology paints a more complex and less dramatic picture. The term alpha originally came from early animal behavior studies. Researchers observed hierarchies in captive wolf groups and assumed the top wolf won power through force. The alpha wolf was described as the dominant fighter who controlled the pack. Later research showed this interpretation was wrong. In natural wolf packs, the so-called alpha male is usually just the father. Leadership comes from parental role and experience, not constant aggression. The pack follows because cooperation helps survival, not because they are afraid. But the early dramatic interpretations spread faster than the correction, and humans adopted the myth. Now fast forward to human society. People use alpha male to describe status, attraction, and leadership. But humans are not wolves, and even wolves do not match the myth. Human social hierarchies evolved under different pressures. For most of history, survival depended on group cohesion. A leader who created constant conflict weakened the group. A leader who reduced tension, coordinated efforts, and made stable decisions improved survival odds. From an evolutionary perspective, unstable aggression is costly. It burns energy, creates enemies, and increases injury risk. A chronically aggressive male in a tribe could become a liability. What actually signals high status in humans is not intimidation. It is a mix of competence, emotional control, and social intelligence. Look at how people naturally respond to calm individuals. Someone who speaks slowly, listens, and reacts with control often commands more respect than someone loud and reactive. This is not moral preference. It is pattern recognition. A calm person signals that they are not easily threatened. That implies capability. If someone stays composed under pressure, others subconsciously read that as strength. Aggression, on the other hand, often signals insecurity. Overreaction can suggest fragile status. If someone must constantly prove dominance, others may assume it is not stable. This does not mean assertiveness is bad. Clear boundaries and confident communication are valuable. But assertiveness is different from hostility. One is controlled, the other is reactive. Another overlooked factor is cooperation. Humans are a hypersocial species. We succeed through alliances. A person who builds networks and trust can gain more influence than someone who tries to dominate alone. From a biological standpoint, influence often beats intimidation. Influence lasts longer and carries less risk. There is also a mating psychology angle. Many assume aggression increases attractiveness. Short-term, displays of dominance can attract attention. But long-term mate selection often favors reliability, resource stability, and emotional regulation. This does not mean nice equals attractive. It means predictable helps survival. A partner who cannot regulate emotions creates uncertainty. Evolution tends to penalize instability over time. Modern environments amplify the confusion. Online culture rewards extreme personas. Loud confidence gets clicks. Calm competence is less visible on a screen. But visibility is not the same as respect or trust. In real social environments, people remember how you make situations feel. Someone who brings calm clarity often becomes socially valuable. Groups prefer members who reduce chaos, not increase it. There is also a neurological layer. Human brains constantly scan for threat and safety. A highly reactive person can activate other stress responses. A regulated person can reduce them. People are drawn to those who make environments feel stable. That is not dominance. That is regulation. The myth of the alpha male survives because it offers a simple formula: be more aggressive and you will rise in status. Simple formulas spread easily. Reality is harder to compress. Real status is multidimensional. It includes skill, reliability, social awareness, and composure. Physical presence can matter, but it is only one signal among many. Consider leaders people genuinely respect. They are not always the loudest or most intimidating. Often they are measured, decisive, and consistent. Their presence feels grounded. Grounded presence is biologically persuasive. It suggests low internal chaos. Low chaos historically meant better decision-making under pressure. Another issue with the alpha myth is that it pushes men toward performance instead of development. Trying to look dominant can replace actually becoming competent. That trade-off is costly. Competence cannot be faked for long. Social groups eventually detect real ability. When they do, perceived status adjusts. There is also a social cost. Extreme dominance displays can isolate a person. People may comply publicly but distance themselves privately. That reduces long-term influence. Biology favors strategies that balance strength with cooperation. Too much passivity lowers status. Too much aggression damages alliances. The stable middle tends to win. This is why many high-status individuals look calm rather than intense. Calm is efficient. It conserves energy and signals control. None of this is about morality. It is about patterns that repeated over human history. Behaviors that improved group survival became attractive. Behaviors that destabilized groups became risky. The modern world still runs on old wiring. Offices, friend groups, and communities still respond to these signals even if people do not consciously think about them. Understanding this removes confusion. You do not need to imitate a stereotype. You need to build regulation, competence, and social awareness. That is less flashy than the alpha fantasy, but more effective. The real alpha, if the word must be used, is often the person who stays steady when others panic. The one who speaks with clarity. The one who does not chase validation. That kind of presence does not need to announce itself. People notice it anyway. The myth sells excitement. Biology favors stability. And if you look closely, the individuals who quietly shape groups, lead teams, and build strong networks rarely match the loud stereotype. They influence without noise. The harsh truth is this: dominance theater can get attention, but stability earns trust. And trust is what gives lasting status. If someone wants real social leverage, the path is not becoming louder. It is becoming more regulated, more competent, and more aware of group dynamics. That is slower work. But it aligns with how humans actually evolved. When you understand that, the alpha myth stops being inspiring and starts looking like a distraction. Reality is less dramatic, but far more useful. See reality clearly.